at what I love. Love is the fulfillment of the law. Romans 13:8. Love ye one another. John 13:34. Agree with thine adversary quickly. John 5:25. Of myself I can do nothing. It is the Father, he does his works through me. John 5:30 through 32. Now let's go back to the Old Testament. It says in Exodus 20:22, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And I was thinking about this. There are several things that came to mind. Is that each one of us has gods that we worship. But the key is to know what the Creator is and worship the Creator before you do anything else. I gather from this, you can have other gods, but you must have a God that you place before everything else. That's what it reads to me. So if you have doubt, go to Exodus 2:20 and verse 2. When Jesus was asked a question about love and the commandments, he said in Mark 12:30-31, you shall love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. And then he said, and the next commandment is like unto the first, love your neighbor as yourself. And as I continue to think about these love statements, I went back to Genesis 1. And Genesis 1 says, in the beginning, when God began to create, there was nothing other than God. So let's take our minds back to the beginning. Before we knew nothing, there was only that which created us, that which is life. And any other power that you have in your life came after this. And therefore, any other God in your mind is made up in your mind. Has nothing to do with the God that was in the beginning, which is life itself, the Creator. And if God, the Creator, if its nature is absolute good, then everything that it created has to be absolute good. So when I love God with all my heart, I should love everyone, every living thing with all my heart and with all my soul also. If I am not doing that, I am not operating out of love. Because you see, we take words, we shape and form these words in our minds according to our consciousness or understanding. So when I use the word good, Each one of us has a variation on the absoluteness of goodness. Some of us have good at 50%. Some of us at 1%. God is God without variation. Good is good without variation. There's no 90%, 99%, and there's no 5%, 1%. If it is not 100%, it is not good. And therefore it is not God. I've been contemplating on this for the last few days. And then in Matthew, I went to Matthew chapter 8 and verse 48. And this is Jesus telling his disciples, "You therefore must be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect." Therefore, the onus is on me to be perfect, because God is already perfect. So how could I say I truly love God and then hate my neighbor? Or I have bias in my heart against living things, because all life is God. Wherever I am, everything that moves and has being is doing so in God. As Paul says, in God we live, we move, we have existence. So if wherever I am is good, then why do I experience other than goodness? It has nothing to do with God. It has to do with me. Why do I rather and prefer? That's my training. Has nothing to do with God. Hence, when Romans 13 and 8 tells us that love is the fulfillment of the law, we have to really think about some of these scripture that we quote. I've been watching some of the debates sometimes, you're flipping channels looking for things which are not there. And you come across some of the political debates, and you realize how man hates man. And there is no love. But we walk, we shake hands, and we rub shoulders, but we have no love. And because there is no love, there can be no peace. Because after the election is over, we have to work together. But we still hate each other. We still go to work having hate in our souls. We still come to church and we still criticize other religious forms. And we don't love this one because. But if everything is in God, therefore everything is operating according to its understanding. I want you to get this. None of us are perfect. We are all operating according to our understanding of what that perfection means to us now. And because our minds are contaminated with so much negativity, most of us have never experienced in our lives what is good. Now that's sad. That is sad. Because anytime we have to approach anything new, that's the test. Anything that is different, that's a test. When we pull back, we're not pulling back to protect ourselves. We are pulling back because of the biases we have incorporated in our thinking that separates you from me. I don't hate you. I just don't love you. Let's face it. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. but I can't cooperate with you. When love manifests through us, it's cooperation. Hello now. If I can't cooperate with you, I can't work with you. I'm pretending. And a lot of us have lived pretentious lives from the beginning. I don't really like you. And we call it tolerance. You know, love. That's why our lives, beginning with our bodies, experience the kind of dis-eases that we experience. Because when there is no love, there is no flow of God in us. And if there's no flow of God, there can be no ease. It's like you have been born a salmon swimming upstream, looking for life. And all this unnecessary pain that we bring to ourselves is because we do not love. You could argue with me, I don't care. When I'm in a state of love, there's a state of oneness. I feel connected with you because I accept you, I appreciate you for who you are, a child of the Creator who created me after its image, after its likeness. Therefore, we are one and the same regardless of our gender, our agenda, regardless of our nationality, ethnicity, any kind of thing that we have in our heads that separate us. Beyond that, we are one. We are one. We're one in the spirit. We are one in life. Life itself has no color. Like the wind has no color. So when I begin to operate from my spiritual nature, I can begin to cooperate, people. Hello now. And I could give loyal and devoted service without looking for anything in exchange. You see, some of us only give because we expect to get back. And we hold people in mind because they haven't paid up yet. Love. Where there is love, there is no separation. We are one. Hello now. We are one. So I don't really care what you think about me. When I come to you, I come in the name of love. You could think whatever you want, do. I will still cooperate with you, and I will still do with you what needs to be done. And I don't feel you're not doing it good enough. I could do it better. We getting there? Do you like it? As I talk, are you examining yourself? There's a traitor that has been on board most of your life. It's called selfishness. In a state of love, things work together. You know why they work together? Because there's flow. Everything comes in the flow. There's no resistance. There is no fight. We are one. I don't expect you to do me anything, so I don't put walls up. Most of us operate with walls up. Only certain people could come to the gate. And then we walk away and say, wherever I am, God is. But I can't work with and I wouldn't be caught dead working with. Because they're unholy. Just by judging them, you are more unholy than them. We good? I like this lesson today. It's February and it's the month of love. And I need to love. I need to stop discriminating and judging people for what they're not because of my contaminated mind. Need to clean up my mind in order to love. If I don't clean up my mind, I can't love you because I don't love myself. If I love myself, I will fix myself. It's time we fix ourselves. Resuscitation time. Take a look at yourself. Take a look at the people in your life. Because the consciousness that you develop is the consciousness that will draw people to you. Out of your heart or consciousness comes forth the issues in your body, hello now, in your life, and in your affairs. Hello now. Out of your mind cometh forth all your problems. And all the problem people who bring the problems to you. Because God did not create problem people. God created you, and after your likeness, you create the people that come into your life. Woo! Woo! We good? Are we good this morning? For dreams to come true, one must be at oneness with God, oneness with the idea, and oneness with oneself. That means I've got to love the Creator for allowing me to be the vessel through which this dream, this idea that I have. Wow! For choosing me. I got to love me with all my heart, with all my soul. I've got to do devoted service to me. The Gospel of John begins with, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That means the Word represents the idea of perfection was with God. And then it says that the idea of perfection became flesh. Whatever you have in your mind as perfection will become the experience that you will experience. Don't blame people for the things that come into your life. Take a look at your state of mind. Consciousness is what I am. And out of my consciousness, I bear the fruits that I have to eat by myself. Because I am bearing them. We okay? This is not too hard for you. Because from this point, it's going to get harder. See, if you don't know, it's okay. But you shall know the truth, and it shall set you free. See, most of us have been programmed to believe that we go to church and we go home the same way that we went to church. You get a little bit of heaven and plenty hell. And during the week after you leave church, you go catch your hell and you go back on Sunday with the hope of getting heaven. And then you leave the church on Sunday and you say, well, hell is below. I'm comfortable here for another 7 days. And I go back. Hello? I do the same things that I did 25 years ago. And I expect to experience a loving life. A life free of stress and disease. And I can't understand why I'm unhappy. And why the people at work don't like me. Because you don't like them. Hello now. Everywhere I go, I see trouble. Because you are the trouble and you take trouble with you wherever you go. Because whoever you are is what you take with you wherever you go. I'm always in trouble. Things work together for good for those who focus on goodness. If you don't focus on good outcomes, you can't have good outcomes, because in the beginning and the end are one and the same. You get exactly what was in the beginning. So we walk away from relationships because we can't stand the people, and 20 days after, we can't stand the new person after. You gotta stay, suck it up, and learn to love. Suck it up. Whatever they bring is to help you learn to love yourself. God, the universe provides me. A table is set before me with everything, even in the presence of my adversities. And I have the power to choose what I will eat today. Ain't nobody putting no food in my plate. No. Whatever you experience, you put your hand and took it off the table. Hello now. Excuse me. Excuse me this morning. When God was finished the creation, God saw that it was good. Here now. What are you creating that is not of God? Ask yourself that. Because you are co-creator in your life of everything that is in your life. Nothing could come into your life unless you put it there. Oh my God. You know, another word for love is focus, or put your attention on. Whatever you put your attention on, hello now, is what you would see, and that's it. So if you put your attention on goodness, wherever you go after a while, all you would see is goodness. That's the secret. If you place your attention on the idea and only worship that idea or celebrate that idea wherever you are, that idea will unfold and become flesh, or become your experiences wherever you are. This is why I like metaphysical interpretation of the Bible and not the literal. Because I know that Scripture didn't come from the present time that we read it. It came from 4,000, 3,000, 2,000 years ago. And we know that the language that it was written in was not English. So therefore it's up for translation, and you can translate it the way you want to. It's not carved in stone. Even the first set of commandments that Moses got, he had to go dash that aside and get another set. So wherever you are, if the text does not work for you in this moment, get a new translation. You see, I'm a teacher. I am just showing you another way that you could approach life. I'm just asking you, before condemning it, try it. Because everybody else who has taught you what you now believe, was a teacher. And through habit and the refusal to accept anything new, you continue to live the life. But you know that the life you are living is not what you want. So you can't keep thinking the same way and expect something new. That is madness. Change comes when what? We take a new concept and we work with it. The law of life is not gray like man-made laws. The law of life is precise. Whatever you sow, whatever I sow, you reap. Yes. Love sets, when you approach things in life, automatically you're free. You don't have to think about it anymore. You ever notice that? Okay. But when you're not truthful, what happens? You got to remember. And that stresses you out. I don't know. Because I got to remember that lie. And if you live longer than me, I got to remember until I die that lie. Because every time I see you, you don't judge me. I judge me because I know what? I lied. And that will haunt me for the rest of my day. Love cannot be, you can't pretend in love. A lot of us get nicey when we see something nicey that we like. We get nicey. We become chameleon. If we think the person need blow up, we blow up. And then we wonder why relationships don't work. If you let people see what they're getting, when they get it, you're free. Let them know you snore. And when you snore, the roof goes up and down. You know it moves. Let them know. Why you putting bandage on your nose and all kind of stuff? Speak the truth. And you're set free because love frees. I love myself so much that I want to tell you about me so much because I want to love you so much. And I don't pretend that I know you. Therefore, I can work with you. Love allows us to work together. Work is love in expression. Have you ever noticed something? When you love something, you work at it and you don't even think that you're working at it. It flows nicely and everything that you need comes together for your good. But when you don't like it, like the job you are in now, you get tight in the morning, man. That's why they say a lot of heart attacks and stroke occur Monday morning when people wake up to go back and face the same confusion they left on Friday. Because they lie, they don't want to be there. But the money is good. No, work is expressing an idea fully. You take an idea and you express it fully until it's fully manifest in your life, in your world, in your affairs. That's love. And that's work. Work is not the job. When I love it, I will give my life for it. And therefore, the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The sheep is the idea. When you love it, you will give all of you to it. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, because all it takes, you have the energy for. That's your life. Work is love in expression. I do what I love. Don't you love to do what you... That's why you go to the job and do what you love. You like to sell Avon, you go on the job and sell Avon. You don't care where your money coming from, but you go on your phone and you text whole day. You love to be on Facebook. You put yourself on Facebook whole day. And the people who paying you, you don't care about them because you love Facebook. Anybody tells you about what you love, you get attitude. What are you talking about? Roll your eyes. Stiffen your jaw. And go tell other people how the boss hates you. But he's paying you for 8 hours. When you love what you do, it flows so easily as soon as you do it. Start to do it. There's no restriction. I give all of me to the dream and the various ways of expressing that flow. You notice when you love something, it's as if your mind opens up to ideas. They just come naturally. Why? Because you are in the flow. You see, energy is a flow of currency. Current flowing. And if I love it, I put myself in the flow. And the current takes me. But when I am not in the flow, I stumble, I toss, because I am going there, but I don't want to go there, I want to go here. But when you're in the flow, it's easy. Work. The idea of work is action. When I begin to work, all the energy of spirit begins to flow in a creative, energizing manner. You ever worked a day, 15, 16 hours at something you love, and you go and you're not tired? And you ever go to a job for 8:30 and by 9 o'clock you're looking at the time wondering when to go home? Hello now. If you're a clock watcher, you don't love where you are. There's no connection. You're only there to fill time. And when people tell me they're filling time, they don't realize that time never comes back. So every moment that you waste is a punishment that you are punishing yourself and wasting away good time on something that you shouldn't be doing. I had a good friend who's a lawyer. Practice was good. And he studied law because I think his father was a lawyer, grandfather was a lawyer. So they had a good business, good money flowing. And one day he woke up and he realized, this is not for me. And he walked out of the law firm. And he liked playing guitar. And that's what he does today. Doesn't make a lot of money, but he's happy. He can sleep in the night. He can breathe easily. He can do the other things that he loves to do without having to stress himself out with people like you, who he has to get off of things that you do. I'm just telling you. You catch what I'm saying? He is in his life, and the enjoyment of living is for him. And he's happy. I have another friend who's a lawyer, and is the most miserable person that you could ever find. Not happy. If you do what you love to do, everything will come. Long life, because you're not stressed out. Hello now. No jugular rising. No palpitation in this temple. That's what you call your temple? Anybody who answers have had that. You know what I'm talking about. When the flow is there, it's easy to enjoy life. I may not have $1 million, but life provides me with whatever I have need of, whenever I have need of it, and the right amounts come, because I'm not living to prove anything. I'm living because life is a gift that has been given to me. And the only way to enjoy a gift is to unwrap it, take it out of the box, appreciate it for what it is, by keeping it close to you and loving it. Do you love your life? Your life has been a gift given to you by the universe. When last have you really loved yourself? Hello now. Cherish yourself for who you are. Wake up in the morning without having to go somewhere that you don't want to go. I ain't saying go quit your job and lose all the money. God knows we need it here. I am saying, through love, I connect with the universal flow of energy, the doer. Why not surrender and let God do the work in and through you? Why not just surrender and say, God, of myself, I can do nothing. You know why you brought me here. Let me start listening to you, so I could go home in peace, having left in pieces. That I could find myself and stop struggling and realize that wherever you lead me, I will follow. Wherever you want me to go, I will go. Send me, God. Send me, God. You have called me, now send me. I will do your work for you. For I love you with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my might, with all my strength. And I love me with all of that. And I love my neighbor the same way. So therefore, wherever I am at ease and I am at peace. Ain't no more fight, God. I surrender. I just surrender. Let the loudmouths talk, I cannot hear them. Let the evildoers do their thing, I cannot see them, because my mind is stayed on you. Because I know that wherever I am, there's absolute goodness. And my work is to be as perfect as you are perfect in me. Say with me, I seek the perfection of the perfect power within me. My work is to express good wherever I am. I work daily on that. I cooperate with others. I support others. I help enlighten others. I express God to other people. My work is ongoing. I love it. It loves me. We are one. And so it is. God bless. What? Yes, yes. Feel all right. What about one love? One